So today we'll discuss about loops in Python. So already the people who are having knowledge on programming, they know what is the functionality of looping statements. So similarly in Python also, they're having the same functionality. The functionality of looping statements is if you want to repeat the execution one block of statements, then we can go with looping statements. So generally in Python, we are having two types of loopings. One is while loop, another one is for loop. So these two are the looping statements which we are using in Python. So first we discuss about while loop. So this while loop is used to execute a block of statements repeatedly until a given condition is satisfied. So this loop is having one condition. If the given condition is satisfied, then the block of statements will execute successfully. So if the given condition is not satisfied, then it will come out from the loop. So here the syntax of the looping statement we have. So this is the syntax of looping statement. So this is the syntax of looping statement. Here while expression we are having. So this expression is containing one condition or everything, but it's supposed to return a Boolean value, either true or false. So it is not restricted a condition. Anything you can go, but it should return that expression should return a Boolean value, either true or false. If it returns true, then these statements will execute. So already we know that Python is using indentation process to define the blocks. So here when I started while loop, while expression, then you should terminate with colon. You should terminate with colon. Once you terminate it with colon, and when you press enter, then automatically it starts the indentation. It starts the indentation. Generally, it may take 4 gaps, but it may contain more also, not an issue. And you don't need to bother about the gap. But every statement should have the same indentation, which comes under that particular block. And already we know that indentation will take care by Python itself. You no need to bother. Just you're not supposed to do any modifications on spaces. So this is about while loop. So now we go through one example on while loop. So this Anaconda software is taking some time to load it. So just I'm launching Jupyter Notebook. Here I'm going to explain how the while loop is executing. So simple, I'm doing some program which generates the numbers between 1 to 10. So for that, I'm going to use one variable called I, and which is initialized by 1. Then, so while the condition. So condition you can keep in brackets, or else you can leave also, but better keep in brackets itself. So I need to generate the values from 1 to 10. So I'm taking while I less than or equal to 10. Then after, kept colon. Once you press enter, automatically it will identify indentation. So it will be having indentation. When you observe that here I'm having some gap. Just what I'm doing is print I. Just I'm printing I. Then after I'm making increase by I. So here we can use I plus plus. You can use I plus plus. So when I execute this one, sorry, I equal to I plus 1 is there, no problem. I equal to I plus 1 I'm using. So I'm getting the values from 1 to 10. So this is about while loop. When you observe here, we're having in this block, I'm having two statements. So these two statements also having same indentation. You should maintain the same indentation. Then only we can get it. So when you observe here, so these two are started with under same line. Okay, so there is no difference, just started on the same line. So gap is same, this statement and this statement maintaining the same gap, and it is not maintained by us, the system itself is maintained. So what you're supposed to do is, you're not supposed to do any changes. For example, if I did some changes here, we'll check what is happening. So I did this one, it went to infinite looping. It went to infinite looping. Why? Because I'm checking that while I less than or equal to 10, I am having 1. Is it less than or equal to 10? Yes. Then print I. Under loop, we'll get only this statement. Then what about I plus 1? It is having out of the loop. So that's why the output we got only once only. So just to interrupt it, kernel. So this is the problem with indentation. So if you didn't maintain the indentation, then the block of statements will be varied. So that's why you need to maintain indentation properly. Okay, so that is about while loop. So I'm doing some I equal to 1 while I less than or equal to 10 colon, just I'm taking print I equal to I plus 1. When I execute it, I will get 1 to 10 numbers. But if I did any mistake in indentation, our program will not execute properly. So you may get different output. So you will not get the expected output. It will get something different. That's why you don't do any modifications in indentation. So system itself by default it will make indentation and just to follow like that only. And the loop which is also having else part. So while loop is also having else part. So the use of else part is generally loop will execute until it satisfies the condition. If while condition, if the condition is not satisfied, then it will come out from the loop. The controller, if the condition is not satisfied, then it will come out from the loop. But if I want to do something, if controller exiting from loop, then we go with else part. Here we are having else also. While condition, so it executes the block of statements, then else colon and else plot of statements. For example, if the loop is coming out, I need to do something else. So I want to go with some message, or else I want to go with some alternation work. Then we can go with else part. So we'll check one example. With similar example, I am choosing. So else print, printing is done. So when I execute it, it will take printing is done. So for this example, it may not affect more on else, but when it comes to live examples, we may get some situations. So for example, if the condition is not satisfied, then you need to represent some messages. In that situation, it will be helpful. For example, I mentioned I value 11. So, but I supposed to print the values between 1 to 10. So then in that situation, it will be more helpful to you. Printing is done. So or else you can give the message. Okay. So somewhere live examples else will be more helpful to you. So this is about while loop. And we have another loop called for loop. So maximum for iterations based on the conditions, we prefer while loop only in Python. But we are having for loop also. But for loop will be used for sequence objects, iterable objects. So when you want to get the data from iterable objects, then for loop is preferable. So what is meant by iterable objects? We discussed in previous classes. So iterable objects are like list, tuple, string. These all are iterable objects. So if you want to retrieve data from these iterable objects one by one, then you go with for loop. So the syntax of for loop is for val in sequence. The sequence object means iterable objects. So what it is doing is from the given list or else tuple or else string, it will get one value. For example, if I'm having one string or else one list is there, some 4, 3, 9, 12, 6, I'm having the list. So from this list, I want to retrieve the data with the help of for loop. Then we can use for val in sequence. Sequence is the list name. For example, I took some L1. So sequence will be L1. So val is a variable. Val is a variable which is used to get a single element from the given sequence. Means val is a variable which gets a single object from the given list. So for initial starting loop, 4 will be come under val. So then after body of for loop. So whatever you want to do with 4, we can do it. For next iteration, value will be pointed to 3. For next iteration, it is for 9. For next iteration, it is for 12. For next iteration, it is for 6. So like that, if you want to retrieve one by one data from the sequences, either tuple or string or else list, and if you want to do some operations, then we can go with for loop. That's only the reason. And similarly, like a while loop, for loop is also having else statement. So, and the loop will be ended automatically once the sequence list is completed. Okay, so we'll check with one example. For example, I want to get the list of elements from the given list. I want to retrieve the elements from the given list. So I'm going to define one list, some list one equal to some elements, some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I define one list and I want to get only positive numbers from the given list. So list we are having old data, but I want to retrieve only positive data. So how could know whether the list is having only positives or only negatives? Unless I want to go with even numbers. So list may contain multiple type of data, but I want to retrieve only even numbers. Then you need to go with some logic, and that is possible with the help of for loop. For example, for some v in list one. So here I'm choosing the variable v to get the data from list one. It will pick one value at a time. So starting with 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is a loop. At a time, it will pick one value. Now I need to check whether it is even or odd. If it is even, then I want to print. Otherwise, I don't want to print it. So I need to check if v percentage 2 equal to 0, then print of v. Print v. Otherwise, I don't want to do anything. So just I'm going to execute this one. So I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this is the use of for loop. But here I got the list which is in printed format, but I don't want like that. I want to store the elements into some other list. So we can add it with the help of add method. So for example, for v in list 1 colon, if v percentage 2 equal to 0 colon, I'm going to create another list, one more list, some list 2 dot add. So I need to create one list. So from starting itself, I'm going to create some list 2 equal to. So I'm going to create empty list. So here list 2 dot add of v. Just I'm executing. Sorry. Append I'm having, not add, append and extend I'm having. So when I execute this program, after execution, if I go through with list 2, we'll get only 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So like that, from iterable objects, if you want to retrieve the data and if you want to do some process with the help of for loop, we can do. So this is about for loop, and we may use in different cases for loop. So, but main intention is to get the data from the iterable objects. It may be a list or tuple or string also. So for example, I want to get the data from the string, and I need to count the number of vowels having in the string. So we'll go through with one string, some str equal to, so welcome to Dr. KVSR IT. So, and I want to find number of vowels in the given string. Just I want to get the count, that's all. So C and T, or else I will go with count equal to 0. So the count variable which is used to count the number of vowels. So I'm going to write for variable for loop, some for v. So here I'm taking v. We don't need to bother about v. You can take anything. It's a variable, that's all. You can take anything. For example, I'm going to take C in str. So C is having the character. And now I need to check whether it is vowel or not. So if C in A, comma, E, I, O, U. Again capitals also. Why? Because it may contain capitals also. So capital A, E, I, O, U. So for C in that, then what I'm doing? Count equal to count plus 1. So after completion of this one, I want to print. After completion of loop, that's why I am moving the indentation. I am closing the indentation. Just I am printing print number of vowels in the given string is comma count. Just I am going to execute it. So number of vowels in the given string is 5. So in is one operator which is used to check whether a particular element is found in the group of list or not. So here I chosen the list of vowels. So instead of typing this one, we can copy these all vowels in tuple or else list, anything. And with that also we can check it. So I can do modifications on this one. Some vowels equal to. You make it as a tuple or else list also. If I kept like this, it will be tuple. So C in vowels. Same output will get. It may be list also, not only tuple, it may be list also. Okay, so this is about for loop. And here we discussed one operator called in. So in operator is used to check the particular element is it found or not in the given iterable object. So this is about for loop. Like while loop, for loop is also having else part. So if you want to use it, you can use else part also. So this is about for loop. So next we'll go with another session